Hi guys, it's Katie here again from BellaCreativa, here to do another video in the Broderie Mini Album that we're making. So Broderie is a set of SVG files for making mini albums, and SVG files are scalable vector graphic files that can be used with electronic cutting machines like a Cricut or a Brothers Scan & Cut or a Silhouette. And you just upload the files to your electronic cutting machine, and it will do all of the work for you in terms of cutting, measuring and scoring. So all you need to do is put it together. So we have we are partway through making this album, and Broderie is an album, the files themselves, most of them are, well, not most of them, about half of them, maybe a little bit more than half of them, have this very pretty lacy edge to them, and that is why they're called Broderie. And I have already made an album on screen and we have used all of those lacy bits. So here's a very feminine, girly album that uses all these beautiful lacy edges, and that's all done with my, in this case, my Cricut, but the cutting machine and SVG files. But this time we're making an album using the pieces that have, are not feminine and lacy edged. So we're up to here. So this is a much more muted and neutral kind of an album, and we haven't embellished it yet. We're still making the pages, but we have some flips on this first page, and a belly band, and we of course have the side pocket. On the next page we will later make an insert to go in there, but this comes out this way and this way, and then opens out this way, and we have some pockets here. So that's the second page we made. The next page we made in the last video were these cute little tag pockets that come out like this, and then they also flip out, and we have a pocket under here. So we've made that page, and so we just close that up like that. And then the last page we made this cute little door page, nice simple but cute little door page that just opens out like that. So I'm hoping in this video we can make the next couple of pages. So I will put this to the side and I will show you the pieces that I've cut out using my Cricut and the Broderie SVG files. So I'm using this paper line by Kaiser Craft Whisper, and it's a 6.5 inch paper pad, which means in this album it's a 7x7 album with a 3-inch spine. And if you were to purchase the Broderie SVG files, which you can do from my Etsy store, and I'll put the link in the description box, this is the size that the SVGs come in, but the beauty of SVGs is that you can size them up or down, so you can make a much larger album or a much smaller album. So that's one of the beauties of SVGs. So yes, I'm using this paper line. I've got 2 pads of this, and then I'm also putting in a few other extra bits of paper because I'm worried that I might run out. So that's what I'm using. Right, so let's put that to the side and get started on the first page. So I have already cut out all my little bits and pieces here. I think I've got all the right pieces. Now I'm confused all of a sudden. Alright, let's see. So, first of all, I always have to cut out my C2 base page mat. So, just as a reminder, all the pieces in blue are the actual elements themselves, and then all the pieces in pink are the mats that for the corresponding pieces. So you don't even have to measure your mats, that's all done for you. And I've given everything an alphanumeric label so that it's really easy to refer to. So I've cut out C2, which is this one here. I've just inked around the edges, so that one's done. To the side here, and then I have cut out, I believe, some D2s, right? I have 4 D2s. And D2s is this one here. It's got tabs all the way around, and the reason I put the tabs all the way around is just to give you the versatility of all sorts of different things that you can do with it. So I've cut out 4 of those, and then I've cut out the mats for that, which is D5, and I've cut out 8 of those, and that's all we need for this page. So let's just put this to the side and get started. So for this page, I'm going to have a windmill effect, and each one of these is going to come from the side, each side of my page, and it's just going to flip on this one tab here. So we don't need any of these tabs on all 4 of these. So I'm just going to quickly get out my cutting board, and trim those off. So my Cricut has already put the score line down here for me, so if I was going to make it a tab I could just fold it, but because I'm going to cut it off, I've got that score line along there which I can just trim on, so that's really handy. So I'm just going to line it up and trim all these out. And I'm sorry, I think that every time I put this down I wobble the camera, so I have to try and be a little less rough and heavy-handed when I'm cutting these off. So our pocket, or our 4-sided 4-tab, just became a flip on that side there. So I'm just going to do that all the way around. So the last Broderie album I made, that one that I just showed you, the really lacy one, it was very convoluted and very detailed, and it had lots of different things in it. And I think that can be overwhelming. And also sometimes you just don't want to do a massive big project like that. So I'm hoping that this album shows you that you can also make a really nice album that doesn't need to be really convoluted like that. And also that these SVG files are so versatile in terms of what you can, how you can change an individual piece to be something different, but also just the look that you can achieve from these SVG files. I love them. Really been enjoying designing different things with more different SVG files. Right, so that's done, easy. Now I'm going to round my corners because I always think that looks nice. And I also need to ink around all of these, which is going to take a minute, so I might go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back. I'll tell you what, I will also show you how I'm going to start again. Use your words, Katie, use your words. Okay, so I have my mats here for it as well, and I'm simply going to mat each one of these front and back so that they're ready to go on the page. So I will go ahead and ink around the edges of all of these, and I will put my corners on these mats, and I will mat all of these pieces front and back, and then I'll come back and we can assemble the page together, because otherwise you'll be watching me inking and matting for the whole time. But as you can see, there's 8 mats here and 4 pieces, so 1 mat for each side. Alright, so I will be back in a moment, and you can avoid watching all of that stuff. Alright, see you in a second. Okay, so I'm back, and I've saved you from having to watch me ink and mat all these pieces here. So this is the 4 D2 pieces, and I have matted them front and back and inked all the way around the edges, and also just did the little rounded corners. So now all we're going to do is stick them in the album, and it's done. It's a really simple page. So I'm just going to sort of do a windmill effect around here. So I'll get out the glue and my trusty rag or wipe, whatever it is, because I'm bound to make a mess. And we're just going to go around and glue these on. And so I'm just going to line it up at the top and down the side. And I'm happy that it's stuck down. I'm going to lift my book up a little bit just so I can see that top section, because I just can't without sticking my head in the way. I think that's okay. Right, so that's one done, and then this guy here will flip out this way on that corner. So I'll just glue that up and pop him down along there, lined up with the bottom. And I'm just going to flip this down so that I can sort of line that up this side as best I can, so it looks kind of decent, like so. And I'll stick that one on there. Same with this one. I'm going to figure this out. If I flip it, yeah, it's got to go that way. It's just because I've used directional paper. This is actually the index pages from an old atlas that I bought from the op shop for, I think it was enormous, and I bought it for $4, and I really love this the index pages at the back. I love the maps too, but I love the index pages. I like all those columns. And then the last one's going to go here. And that is really it. It's so simple. And I haven't organised anything for inside, but that's not to say that we can't come back later and put a pocket or a belly band or something in here if we wanted to. But I am trying to make it not terribly bulky. So it opens out kind of like a pinwheel, and then all we need to do is just put our mat down in the centre. Easy. So this is the C2 mat, the mat for the base page. Let's pop that down there. And in this album so far, I have just been using Velcro dots instead of magnets, because they're cheaper and they're much easier for me to source. I can source them, you know, locally, whereas magnets I have to order online, and I'm so impatient for that. Yeah, so they're easier for me to find, and they're much cheaper. And you don't have to think too much about it, because you can just pop a Velcro dot on anywhere you like. You don't have to do it under a mat or anything like that. So there's our page. It looks spiffing. So I'm just going to put a Velcro dot down, and so these are my little Velcro dots by Velcro, and I'm going to put it, oh, let me move this down a bit, sorry. I'm going to put it up a little bit, because I think I might put a charm or a bit of ribbon or something here later on when I get to the embellishing section. So for now, I'm just going to put my Velcro dot up a bit higher and give myself plenty of opportunity. So I'm just going to pop that down about, well, having said that, I don't want it to be, you know, I might put it right over here, because then it won't interfere too much with any picture that goes here. Let's do that. So I'm going to pop that there, so it's right in the corner. And I'll get one of these clear ones and pop it upside down on there. And let's hope that this will do the job. And just pull it down and pop it down like that. Lovely, and it will flatten out even more over time as well, you know, so it should sit down a bit better once everything's in here. So there's not a simple page. I think we've got time for another one, so let's kick on. I like that. Once it's all embellished, it's going to look lovely. Lovely, can't wait. Starting to fill out a bit. Look at that. Might do something here as well to hold this down, some kind of a closure. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. I'm going to do this left-hand page now, so let's put that to the side. In my big pile of stuff that I've got up here. I'll grab out my Broderie book again. Let's go through the pile of things that I've cut out for the next page. Right, so we always start with the C2 base mat, which I have here, cut out and inked around. We've got that one, put that one here. And then I have got, is this the right page? No, I've already done that one. My notes. What do we have next? I think we've cut out some D3s. I have got one D3, yes, which is this pocket here. And then I have cut out 2 of the D6 mats. So that's these 2 here. They've already been cut out and inked. So that's our D3. Then we have an F5 pocket, that little skinny pocket. And that's this one here. And the F11 mat to go with that. We've cut 2 of those out. So that's those 2 there. So they've been done. And then we have this G2 big pocket here. So I've got one of those. And I have cut out 2 of the G5 mats. And that's those 2 there. And then finally we have got an H2 pocket or door, however it depends how you use it. And then an H4 mat for that as well. So that's all the pieces that we need for this page. So let's get started. So this guy is going to be a pocket just like that, so we don't need to do anything to that one. G2, this one here is going to be a flip. It's obviously got the tabs on it and it's a pocket, so we're just going to cut those 2 tabs off to make that a flip. And F5, this little skinny guy, we are going to use that as a flip or from the long side, from this short side here. So we're going to cut this long tab off and this short tab off. And then D3 is going to be a flip as well, and we're going to flip it from the long side. So we're going to cut these 2 short tabs off. So that's all of the tabs that we need to cut off. So let's just get out our cutting board and cut those off. And try not to upset the camera every time I put the this bit here down. And the long one, I always put little crosses on the tabs that I have to cut off because I get talking and then I end up cutting all the wrong tabs off, or all the tabs off. And then this one, it's just those 2 tabs here. That one. And line that up. Line that up. Trim that. That's it. So we can pop that to the side. Now all of these are flips and I'm going to round the corners and ink up around the edges of all of those. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And of course you don't need to do this. I just like my corners like this. But having said that, you could also use a little corner punch. You know, something that's fancier than that. Or you could, if you have you know, a manual die cutting machine, or and you've got the dies for doing the fancy edges, you could do that. You just run the piece with the mat through it, and you can have a different edge. And there's lots of options. I do like options, although I don't know about you, but sometimes too many options is difficult. Like if you go to buy a drink somewhere, perhaps, I don't know, and you go there and you look at those big glass fridges with all the drinks in there, and there's so many choices and you have no idea what to get. So in the end you end up getting a Coke or a Pepsi, although you could have had practically anything. But because there was so much to choose from, you just chose the most simple thing in the world. Too much choice. Okay. So I've done that. So let's bring our album back in. And it's this one here. And we're doing this left page. So I generally like to have my, if I'm having something opening off the page to the side, I generally like it to open away from the spine. That just makes more sense to me. I think it's easier to deal with than having it open in the other way. But, you know, as I say, that's just me. So I'm going to pop this G2 on here. So let's do that. I think I remember what I'm doing. I'm trying to follow my little picture here. Not the greatest picture in the world. Oh, but I'll stop. I'll show you for a second, in a second, how I plan. I'll just stick this on. Make sure I'm happy with it lined up on the end edge there. Yeah. So this is a little insight into how I plan. I have this file that I use, and in here I have got separate tabs for each page, and each page has a little pocket, and I have these little tags, and on these little tags I just put this sticker note, and I will write on it, and here's one, I'll write on here page 1, and then I just draw this little terrible little drawing, and I kind of point to each of the pieces and what they're called. So what I'll do is I'll go through here and make some, kind of think about some ways that I might want to use each of the pieces, and then I'll just draw a little mud map and with each of the pieces on here, and then down the side here I've just written which pieces I need and how many of each one. So then I'll put this and all my pieces that I've cut out into the corresponding page. So we've done, so this is cover, spine, binding and pages. So this is what I'm going to use on the inside covers, front and back. And so we've done page 1, we've done page 2, we've done page 3, 4, 5, and we're doing page 6. So here's page 7. These are all my bits that I've cut out. Here's my little mud map. And I look at it and I think, what on earth was I thinking? Yeah. So then I've got all my pieces in there, and I've got page 8 ready to go. I've cut out the main bits for 9. I just need to do my maps. But so that's what I do, and as you can see, I've gone all the way through and started doing each of those. And then at the end here, I have got an envelope here where I might put in my inserts and tags or anything else like that. So that's kind of how I plan it out in my head. I don't know if you wanted to know, but now you do. So, you know, you could do something like this as well if you would like. And then I've got this bit here, and so when I finished the page, I often put the tags just in this pocket here. And I'll also put any pieces that I might have cut out that I decided not to use in the front here in case I decide to use them somewhere in the album later. But this is actually from the last album we made, so here's some pieces that I cut out, and this is another reason why I write on there what they are. So next time I make an album using this cardstock, I've got those couple of pieces so they're not wasted. So anyway, little sidetrack moment there. Okay, so right, we've stuck this little guy on and I'm trying to look at my mud mat to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put this D3 as a clip on this side. So I would like to roughly work out where the centre is so I don't, you know, make it look silly. Where's my pencil? There it is. So this is 6 inches. So the centre point is 3 inches, just there. And then this is 5 inches, just over. But you know, we're rough here. So 2.5 would be about the centre. So I'm just going to line those up and stick them on like so. Don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. I'm looking at my picture and it seems like a good idea, but now I'm kind of thinking, oh, is that going to work? Oh well, we'll give it a go. So my idea is to have that one go over there, and then I wanted to have this one here. Yeah, that'll be fine. It'll work. So then, and we can put a Velcro dot here. Or if you're using magnets, you can put a magnet there and that'll hold that down. That's my plan. Let's do it. I'm going to find the centre again, which I happen to know is 3 inches. And then this little guy here is 2 inches wide. So find the centre of that. Put some glue on here. And stick this one down. Like so. So, you know, this little skinny pocket here, we have already used in a number of ways. It's very cool. It's a very cool little useful pocket. So, the Velcro stuck to it. So here we're using it as a sort of like as a thingy. One of those. Here we've used it as a pocket. We might not have used it again yet, but there are more to come, I seem to recall. So that's, you know, how you can use different things in different ways. Okay, so then on the inside, I'm just going to put this pocket down the bottom, and then we just mat it and we're done. So let's put the base page mat down, which is this one, and then we can stick that pocket on top, no problemo. So this album is moving along pretty swiftly, I must say. It's nice sometimes to be able to do a project that doesn't take forever. I've been working on some other SVGs that I'm quite keen to share. And I have made a couple of these albums that I have not quite finished, so I would like to finish those, and then I can do a little flip through and show you some other page ideas. So I'll just put this mat on this pocket. Just get the glue off my fingers. Okay, so then this one can go on here. So I will just put some glue on. Too much as usual. Just bring this down a bit closer to me. And pop that down there. Just want to glue off, and I just want to make sure that that flips closed over that side, no problems, and that this one flips closed, no problems. Lovely. Okay, so then we can just put our mats on, and I have to try and remember what I wanted to put where. So this obviously goes on here, so that's fine. We know that. And then, so I have a grey and I have some text, and I think I must have wanted that on here. Which way does it go? Maybe it should go like that. Oh my goodness, I don't know. If I close that up, I think I'll put it that way. Quick stick it down before you can change your mind. Alright, so I just need to put my little rounded edges on there. And some glue. And hopefully there's enough glue on there in the right places. Stick that down. There's not enough glue there. Open up. Always go through this process of it's not enough glue or it's too much. Not very often I get it just right. Okay, so then on here, I should have this text, shouldn't I? Because otherwise this whole page is going to be just all grey. Yeah, definitely want the text on here. I don't think I inked up that top bit. Oh dear. I did on that side, but maybe not so much on this side. Okay. Bit of glue on this one. Flip her over. I really want to make an album with black cardstock, but I know it's a bit hard to see on screen. So I'm not sure about it. Put this one on here. You know, the wonderful thing about black is that you don't have to ink it. But also, I just think it looks really classy. So, I might use a bit of black cardstock in here, maybe for some tags, because it does look really nice as that border on the front. Really makes that look pretty. So it might look nice on some tags even. Okay, and then these two here, I'm going to join them together and see if I can not mess up the edges by doing them together. Oh. See, I had to do that one again anyway. So, if you were putting down a magnet, you would put a magnet here and then matte, and you would put a magnet here and then matte. But because I'm being lazy and using Velcro, we don't need to worry about that. down. And and then we can do the same on the other side. Oh, this album's really moving along. Yeah. And then we just need to do this bit here, which we just have some dots. Doesn't matter where I put the corner. Okay. So I'm loving being able to do a couple of pages at once. And it might be making the videos a bit longer, obviously, because I'm doing 2 at once. But, you know, you can come back to it, watch it in parts or whatever. But I think it feels like it's moving along more quickly doing 2 pages at a time. Some of the fancier pages you just couldn't really do more than one in one go. Okay, look at that, more flippy doodles. And you know, you could put more flips on the top if you wanted to, and coming down the bottom. There's just no end to what you could do. I just am trying to be mindful of not making it too chunky, because I am kind of bad for that. But that's not to say that you can't come along and add. If I put that right there, I feel like it should come back here actually. If I put the Velcro dot about there, and then put this one on top, then we can put a photo here and my Velcro dots aren't restricting that access, like so. So I'm going to just open it up like so. Yeah. Was I saying something else? Oh, you know, there's no reason why you can come back afterwards, say, and add something more, and you can put the tab to, if you want to put, maybe make a little booklet and attach it, you can put the tab on along here, and so you can still add more things to the outside of each of these pages, even after you've done this. So you might think, oh, I was worried about how much paper I was going to use, but then once I was done, I realised I had quite a bit left. So I decided to put a little fold-out pocket on this page or something like that. So you just can do that, no problems. So you know, this is a good page. Might put a policy envelope off the side here that we can flip out. So you know, and we can attach it just down here. So there's no reason why we can't add more to it if we want to. But that's it for now. So we just do another couple of pages here. So we've got this sort of pinwheel. It comes out like so, which I think is pretty snazzy. And then we did this one here, which opens up like so. And we put photos here and here and here and here. And then we have that pocket in the center. Just comes together so easily. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me today. We're really getting a move on this album. If you're interested in having a look at the SVG files, these ones are called Broderie, and the link to my Etsy shop will be in the description box down below. I hope you come back and watch some more of this series. Thanks very much for joining me today. Thanks, and see you soon. Bye.